Hello and welcome to Cutie Art Crusaders, episode 39, which is the Burn and Pinky Dash show.
Hey!
Second guess why? It's because we do not have Flutter Guy or Rainbow Plasma with us because they are both off having fun in Boston. Is it Boston?
I think so.
I think it's Boston. Otherwise, they're at PAX East, wherever that is. I don't know. I'm not American, so I don't know American geography at all. Well, anyway, so we've decided to sort of just take over this and do it ourselves, and so you're probably going to be hearing quite a bit of Burned this week.
Well, normally you'd be hearing a lot of me, but this week I'm going to try to shove Pinky Dash into the spotlight. I'm going to make you talk. I'm going to force you to talk. So,
okay.
And I've made sure to hopefully pick out a whole bunch of pieces that you'll enjoy talking about, and made you pick out a whole bunch of stuff. So hopefully we can get you to actually participate in an episode, not just sit there quietly and sketch your actor or something.
Anyway, we're going to introduce ourselves anyway, because even though there's only two of us, whatever. I'm Pinky Dash. I normally do the questions. This week I'm doing the intro and probably talking a little bit more than usual. And with me I have
Burned01, the special guest coordinator, and also pretty much now the main editor for the show. This is now the second week in a row that I'm going to be editing again. Grandpa and I started doing this swap back and forth thing, and he's the editor, and then now I'm doing I don't know. It's we swap back and forth, but it's now I feel like I'm doing all the editing. I'm the editor for the show. It's my show. And Pinky Dash's show. It's the Us show.
It's the Burn and Pinky Dash show.
We're taking over. I can feel the power. Yeah. Going crazy with the power.
That's right.
What is it? What's the date today? Or the date this is airing is going to be March 26th, 2013?
Pretty sure I said that already, but whatever.
Did you? No.
Yeah.
Well,
thought I did.
This is why it's the Us show, because we have no idea what we're doing.
We're just bumbling our way through it. Whatever.
Yep.
We'll just have fun with it.
Okay. So let's see. Before we start. Okay, news. Fancy stuff. Like you said, Rainbow Plasma and Flutter Guy are gone, and they've been having a lot of fun, and hopefully we're going to have an awesome little episode of their adventures and travels of them together that Rainbow Plasma will edit, and I won't be editing. And we've got some really awesome pictures of when they dyed Rainbow Plasma's hair blue, and some good stuff that you'll be seeing hopefully in, will it be the next episode? Or the episode after?
I think it might be the next episode.
Next episode? Hopefully it's the next episode. No guarantee.
It's going to be one of the next couple episodes, so we can have a break 1 week. He can do everything. I don't have to do anything that week.
And I'm going to be contacting some special guests too, so look forward to that. Because we've had a couple episodes now, we haven't had a special guest. Well, we had Spirit. That was really awesome, but that wasn't a guest. She just helped us.
She was a guest host. Guest
host. All right. Anyway, in other news this week, the fan animation Snowdrop came out, and that was really cool.
That was amazing.
It was really adorable, wasn't it?
It was.
Got to get those feels, man. Those feels.
All the feels.
No, I got them. It was good. It was a good time. It was really cute. I liked the blind OC concept. It was really cute.
So did I. I mean, it's been something. I mean, I've seen something similar before. I mean, it wasn't like a full-blown animation like Snowdrop was. It was just a couple of images here and there, but it wasn't really done so well. The animation Snowdrop was actually really, really well done. I've seen a few people blowing around with Mary Sue type ideas.
Yeah.
Talking referring back to Snowdrop. I'm like, well, it's not a Mary Sue because she's blind, and it's exactly how a blind person would react. They hear instead of seeing. It's not Mary Sue. It's reality.
Yeah.
That
and it was really cute and well done. I remember you were saying there's a lot of OCs that kind of use that, or I've seen them around too, but not really as well done as the whole Snowdrop Philly OC. And when she was in the snow and it was blowing and she was hearing it, that was really adorable.
Yeah.
Kind of bring in that concept. Anyway, I don't want to critique it too much. Let's see, other animations. Oh, before we actually move on, you made a background of it, didn't you?
I did, because I watched it. I'm like, okay, it's not exactly widescreen, but I really, really want a wallpaper, so I kind of vectored a wallpaper from it.
No, I thought that was my favorite scene, so I really liked the wallpaper.
Yeah, so did I, because she was all happy. I'm like, ah.
Yeah, oh. Yeah, I really liked the whole moral of the story. It was kind of trying to wrap my head around it, but it was a good moral. Eventually got it. I like morals spelled out for me. I think that's why I like My Little Pony so much, because it's I didn't really understand the moral. Dear Princess Celestia. Oh, okay, I got it. All right.
So you would have hated season 3 then, when she got 2 letters.
Yeah, right? I had no idea what's going on. Maybe that's why I hated the season so much. This is I'm 5 years old. Please spell it out for me. This is why I'm watching a kid's show. Gosh.
Fair enough.
Anyway.
It's all the hair. It's eating into your brain.
It is. It's part of I don't even know. It just manifests. It just does whatever. It's taking all my intelligence and then manifesting stuff. Okay, it's getting weird. We're getting off track. Second animation coming out in 6 days to keep your eye out for is Double Rain Boom. That's also coming out.
Wait, is it 6 days from now or 6 days from when the episode gets released?
6 days from now. I think that's what the countdown website on the website.
Okay, so
6 or 7 days. Well,
it'll
wait.
Be
from when this episode's airing. I got you.
So it'll be 3 days from when this it'll be 3 days from when this episode is.
Yeah,
3 or 4 days.
3 to 4, yeah.
Okay.
And I don't know what
exact. Because for all that don't know, we're recording on American Saturday.
Yeah. And I don't know what exact date that is, so too bad. Friday, Saturday, something.
At 3, so it'll be the 29th.
And then our last bit of news that's really exciting for me. This happened December, so like 3.5 months ago, almost 4 months now. It's something that was really exciting happened for me, but I didn't really get to gush about it too much. I kind of made like a journal post about it. But I won, her name now is the Nightcraft, the dash Night dash Craft. Her name was Aishino, something like that. But she had a plushie contest where basically people who watched her, she entered into a big drawing and pulled names out of a hat and then made the plushie for them for free. And I had no idea I was a part of the drawing. I watched her because I really like plushie artists. And then I got this note in December, right around Christmas, where she was just like, I think it was in the beginning of December, and she was like, you won the drawing for a free plushie, like a 15-inch plushie. And I was like, what? And I was friggin' surprised. And that was before we had like the little beanie bag before we decided we were going to do that. And I was like, well, I don't have a plushie of my OC. And that was right around when people started making us like awesome fan art and stuff.
Yeah.
So I was kind of like, I kind of want an OC to help me like record with the show or whatever, because I really like the show and I kind of associate my OC with the show. And then it finally just came in the mail. So now I have a little plushie version of me, and it's got like the hair, it's got the little beard and little goatee and pony ears.
Oh, and that's so cute. So that's like a real standing up plushie, not like the beanie bag ones.
Yeah, so it's about the same height as my little Rainbow Dash plushie. I feel so like gifted. I have all these plushies everywhere. And
I have a single plushie, and it's of my OC.
We'll get you more plushies though.
Yeah. Although, what was it? Build-A-Bear Workshop are going to start selling Pinkie Pie and Rainbow Dash ones.
Yeah, get you a Pinkie Pie plushie.
I got told by one of my friends yesterday that I'm going to be getting one for my birthday. So I'm looking forward to that.
It feels weird that I'm hugging me. But I'm so soft. Alright, I'll put me down over there. But no, yeah, Build-A-Bear's doing Pinkie Pie and Rainbow Dash plushies, and then what's Studio 30X?
That's right, yeah. I can't remember what they're called.
Well, they're doing Studios 30X or something, are now doing Twilight plushies. What is that? They released a little preview image of them a while ago, and I thought, oh wow, those are pretty awesome. And they're like $24. Like, yeah.
What?
Fourth
Amazing.
Dimension, that's right. Fourth Dimension entertainment plushies are now available for pre-order, so go snag some of those. They're friggin' adorable.
I think they're all sold, the Twilight ones.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think I saw somewhere they're all sold out.
No, they were, but they had them in stock. It was just like a website glitch. So I'm looking at it right now. Well, this is the Saturday right now. They're available and in stock. So Tuesday, go make sure, because they're really cute, and it's $36 with shipping in America. So
I can't wait till the Pinkie Pie one comes out.
That's a really good price. Yeah. All right. All right. I think that's about it for news. So yeah, today is the Burn Pinkie Dash show because our Rainbow Plasma Flutter guy can't be joining us because they're having way more fun than we are. So we're going to try to have super awesome, ridiculous, uncoordinated fun and have no idea what we're doing in this episode. No. All right. God, we have way too much art. We couldn't decide what art we wanted, so we just got like all the art we could. But do you want to introduce today's theme, Pinkie Dash?
I can. Okay. So today's theme, we deliberated for a while. We finally come up with a theme, and it was styles that we like and that you can pretty much. Well, the theme is just style, but what we've gone and done is we've gone and found artists that have their own sort of unique style that you can tell if you're looking through, just Reddit or DeviantArt or just searches and you see this thing, you think, oh wow, that's this person's style. Like, it's unique to them, so you know it's them when you see it.
You can really associate like how they do their art with that person because all of their arts really has like a similar theme or style to that. And it varies, it like really varies from artist to artist, like how they hold true to that style. And we'll talk about that a little bit. But really, it's like this episode, it's going to be style, and it's like unique styles that you know when you see that, but it's really just a bunch of artists whose style we really like. Currently, like the artists that we've been looking at that we really enjoy is kind of what we're featuring in this episode. Okay. Who's our first artist?
All right, first artist we've got here is one that you've probably all heard of, KP Shadow Squirrel, first piece that we've got by him is Happy Pinkie Pie.
Happy Pinkie Pie. It's
Happy Pinkie Pie.
It's so happy, dear God.
Take a guess who chose this one.
Not me. Oh God. It's so friggin' happy.
She is very, very happy. That's the reason why I love it. KP Shadow Squirrel makes a lot of stuff like this, and you can always tell when it's their stuff because it's all shinies in the hair, and it looks like it's a little bit of a painted feel, and it's all this brush strokes everywhere, and it's all as we like to use messy medium. It's fun. It's all just fun.
Yeah, it is really fun. All the little balloons in the background, all the colors.
Yeah.
KP Shadow stuff is always really saturated, always really bright. Like all of her, him. I always say her. I keep saying her because KP Shadow Squirrel, his art it's very feminine. That's not a bad thing, but it's always very cheerful, always very colorful, and there's nothing really masculine about it. And it's not that that's a bad thing. I actually love that. Obviously, because I'm a brony, I have to love things that are feminine. But I mean, it's just that's kind of how it is. So I kind of accidentally associate the artist with like a female persona. But it's a him. KP Shadow Squirrel's a guy, and his art is awesome. No, but anyway, it is very bright, and as you can see by this Pinkie Pie piece. In his gallery, there's actually a really cool thing in his cadence portrait. He actually uploaded the PSD for his cadence portrait that you can look at it and see and break down how he makes his images and how he paints them. And they're actually really cool. And he like labeled them things that are like helpful.
That's cool.
So he starts out with
I haven't done that.
Yeah, it's I'll have to link it to you. But he starts out with a base background color, and then he does a sketch of the of whatever he's drawing, the portrait. So he would start out with like the sketch of Pinkie Pie, and then from there he paints the basic colors over the top of that. He has like the sketch on the top, but he puts like the basic colors underneath the sketch where he wants everything, and then he starts putting basic shadows, and then he puts darker shadows for more detail, and then he adds certain detail lines like the pink around the ear, the nose, or the mouth, and then the eyes, like the eyelashes, and like the pink around the hair. And then he'll add his highlights, like the bright points, like the white and then the light pinks. And then he'll add specular highlights, which are like the little dots that you see all shining on things, like on the ear, the neck, and like the round parts of Pinkie Pie's hair and like her nose, and all the little dots on her eyes. And then he'll add the white line highlights, which are all the little lines in the hair and on the lines and everything. So he has all these layers and steps and how you can see, and all of them like overlapped make this awesome finalized painting. But it was really fun to like go and take out little pieces, and like you can take away like all layers but just the color, and it's just this big pink blob and this big other slightly darker pink blob with no shading or anything. And you turn on the shading layer and it like becomes 3D, and then you turn on the other darker shading layer and it adds detail. It's like, whoa, like to see that, it's like it just seems so simple, but it's so complicated.
And that just goes with us asking people to do the stuff to upload work in progress shots, because we love going through and looking at them. I didn't know KP Shadow Squirrel did that.
Yeah, no, there was only one, and it's really awesome to see him do that, because a lot of artists don't like to upload their PSDs of their work, because like there is a lot of art theft, especially on TV art, which is unfortunate, and it makes it so awesome. Like people who are actually are awesome and want to learn can't have nice things, like because like I love going through that and looking through it, but there are some people who will like take that and change it a little bit. Like, oh,
they'll abuse it. Yeah.
But technically, we are all vector artists and we trace over stuff anyway, but we don't claim it as our own. We credit people. We're good people. Deviant artists, good people. Or vector artists. Anyway. Do we have to move through this stuff so quick. There's one piece
so we go to the next one?
Yeah, there's one piece that we won't go over too much, but it's by KP Shadow Squirrel again. This next piece is called Young Cadence at the Beach, and it's a piece that I wanted to feature because I love this piece. I think it's friggin' adorable. And then we're talking about style. Like when you see that style, you know that style. When you see this, like this piece, like with all the colors and the cuteness and the eyes, for me at least, it just really says like KP Shadow Squirrel, and I love Cadence. I think she's adorable. But on a fun note, there are things about this style that when you see it, you associate with other artist style. So like the fuzz on certain parts of young Cadence, and then the ears especially. The ears are a big giveaway. And this piece actually has a lot of things in it that are inspired from another artist. And that artist is a Trill, and it's actually an artist that we're going to be featuring on our style episode today. So I thought
beautiful segue.
I thought this was a really cool piece to feature because it has little pieces that even KB Shadow Squirrel says in the description that are, you know, go-to inspired from a Trill's works, because KB Shadow Squirrel's a fan of his work, and I'm a fan of his work, and I can see that in this work. It's like, Anyway.
Yeah.
So go ahead. What's our next piece?
Okay, so our next piece here is by Atrill. Or, I don't know. Do you know how to pronounce his name? I call him Atrill. You call him Atrill.
A Trill just like easier to say for me.
Let's call him Atrill. It's just what I've learned to pronounce it as. Anyway,
you say Atrill, I'll say Atrill.
It's like potato, tomato. Yeah.
Australian, American.
Yeah. Same thing. Anyway, so our next piece is called 30-Minute Challenge Sledge by Atrill. This guy, I don't even know what to say about this guy. He is absolutely incredible what he can do in 30 minutes. 30-Minute Challenge is a Tumblr for those who don't know. It's just that you put up themes or a stimulus, and you got to make out for that particular thing. So for this one here, Applejack with a rope was the topic, and he's gone, and the rope isn't the center point of the image, but the fact that it's Applejack towing Apple Bloom up a hill on a sled, and it's snowing and everything with a rope. And it's, I mean, I can't even fathom doing this in forever, let alone 30 minutes. Like,
yeah, right? I just like, whenever I see his style, I get so mad because I love it so much. And it's like, wow, he did that in 30 minutes. That's so awesome. Watching his live streams is awesome because it's like watching a speed painting, like how quickly he sketches and draws. Like when you actually see him do his 30-minute challenges if he live streams them, it's like how quick they are is ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's really bad to say, but he almost puts everyone else who posts on the 30-minute challenge Tumblr to shame because of how awesome his pieces are. Because he throws out a sketch, just a basic, super quick, blunt sketch, like messy sketch. And then he traces over that with his ink work. He works in Psy, so he has his inking pen, and then he goes over and makes his lines for that. And then he fills inside of the lines with basic colors. So it'll be like, bam, orange, yellow for like the hair, and the brown for the hat. And he'll just like just paint bucket in those colors. And then he'll make clipping masks out of those layers so he can't draw outside of those colors. And then once he has those clipping masks, he'll make his shading. And he'll make his basic shading like you see in the snow and kind of on like the bottom of Applejack, like on her legs and like on her jaw and stuff. And then he'll do the same thing and make a highlight layer, and he'll use like the color of his light source. So that's what you see on like her ear and her hair, those like bright highlights. And then he'll go from there and he'll add white lines, like his white highlight lines. And reflecting light. He was talking about that in one of his live streams. How he does reflecting light is he adds basically a bright line on the underside of things, so you can kind of see that on the underside of Applejack's chest and leg and like bottom of the sled, kind of. But how quickly he does it is ridiculous. But that's just how he paints. We're trying to talk about his style. His go-to thing that you see and you think a Trill is, for me, his eyelashes and his ears. And then how he draws proportions to bodies. But
I mean the eyelash is a big thing. He does a weird thing where it's sort of like a sort of feathery little eyelashes things, which he's done more recently, more of late, rather than his earlier stuff.
It's really a 2013 thing.
Yeah, it's kind of a recent addition, but when you see it, it immediately screams Atrill.
Yeah.
Like,
it's really cool.
You can't not see that and not think Atrill. It's just, you can't do it.
How he does it, he colors it. The eyelashes, he has the eyelashes and he makes like the outlines for them, and then he colors in the color of the eyelashes, which are the color of the hair. So like when he does Rainbow Dash, it'll be like red, orange, yellow, purple, blue, green for like the eyelashes. And it's really cool. It's really cool looking.
Yeah. And the other thing that I noticed as well is the fact that with their manes and tails, at the furthest away points, it's always huge. Like it always puffs up and goes like thermonuclear. It's huge. So if you look at in this one, it's AJ's like mane hanging down next to her head. It's like giant. Same with the tail; it gets really big.
Yeah.
And also that like the angular, he doesn't use smooth curves all the time. It's usually kind of like an angle.
Oh, you mean like not straight lines?
Yeah, like it's not smooth curves. It's gets to a point and then you can tell right away where it curves sharply.
Oh yeah. Oh, I see what you mean. Where it's like it gets thick and then thin.
Yeah, like it doesn't. It's not like a circle. It's there and then it straight away like dips to a different direction. It doesn't. It's not a smooth curve. Like if you look in the inner stroke on Applejack's tail, you can see it there.
Okay. Oh yeah, that makes sense. It's very organic, I believe is the word for that. You have a very straight line style, which is like very geometric shapes, and a lot of ponies will they'll be standing straight or have certain aspects of them that are like rules. Like they have to be this way, the legs have to be angled this way. But if you really bend those lines and curve them, it's becomes very, again, like unique to your style, how you draw your lines. And Atrill is very awesome at drawing those organic, curvy ink work on the outlines of his basically comic-like characters. And he has this really ridiculous cutesy style. It always has like a really big head, tiny body, short little legs, really big fluffy ears with the little fluffy tips and fluffy on the inside, and then like that poofy hair. How he's developed in like the past 6 months is ridiculous, because he used to be really, really well known for his anthro work, and I love his anthro work. I thought it was awesome. That's why I would follow him. And then now he started doing this like really cutesy pony, like with like the big head and curvy lines and just ridiculous cartoon style, and it's just awesome to see. In fact, our next piece is a great example of that.
It is. So our next piece that we've got here, again by Atrill, is 30-minute challenge Giddy Up. And once again, how the heck he does this in 30 minutes.
Yeah. It's funny because we're featuring his artwork, but they're 30-minute challenges of his artwork. Like, we're going through his gallery, and there's some really awesome finalized pieces, but we kind of wanted to be really unique of his style, and some of his anthro work we can't really feature.
Because reasons.
And then his 30 challenge work is so awesome that it's worth featuring, especially this one. Again, you can see the colored eyelashes, the fluffy ears, the big head, the poofy hair, and the tiny little body. It's very cartoony, and it's very Atrill-esque of his style, and like when you see it, like, you know it's him. Also a warning to the 30-minute challenge tumbler. It's an awesome tumbler, but it's a safe for work and a not safe for work tumbler, so we do have to have that warning. Forcing artists to make a 30-minute challenge like every day is awesome, and that's an awesome thing that they're doing.
It's a great challenge,
but they don't want to keep it constrained to just
they don't want to limit anything. They want to, if you have an idea and you've got 30 minutes, go for it.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's what they want.
So anyway, but they encourage all kind of artists. Like, they try to keep an open mind.
Another thing I've been noticing about Atrill, probably more recently, is every single thing, or most of the things that he uploads, especially for the 30-minute challenge, always has a sort of a texture overlay to it. So it looks like it's sort of old-timey, little bit grainy.
He has a bunch of different textures. He really started doing that recently. That was, again, a recent change in the last few months. But he started throwing those texture overlays over the top of his work. And he has this huge folder of texture overlays. I've seen it in his live stream. He has like paper overlays, metal overlays, all sorts of overlays. I mean, it adds a cool touch if that's the style that you want.
I mean, I quite like it. Mm-hmm. Gives it more of a real feeling to me.
Yeah, gives it like a grainy, kind of realistic-ish, traditional medium.
Anyway, for those who don't recognize his character, it's what's the name? People have been calling her Chickadee from the Games Ponies Play episode, the fake games inspector.
Oh, okay, I gotcha. She's riding a chicken.
Yeah, it's a dog. Because a cute monster chicken.
Okay, all right, moving right along.
But yeah, giant head, giant hair, giant tail.
Fluffy ears.
Tiny body. Fluffy ears, tiny body, and green eyelashes. He's very, very popular, and creates a lot of content.
Yeah, a lot of content. However, warning, he is a not safe for work artist, but he does have some very...
There's not too much of that on his DeviantArt, so if you keep to his DeviantArt page, you'll be pretty sweet.
Yes, his DeviantArt page is what you should check out. He does have some nudity, but it's very mature, like... I can't remember the word. It's... tasteful. There we go.
Tasteful.
It's very tasteful, and it's not lewd. it's just nudity. I mean, we're all adults, hopefully. Not everyone who watches the show is an adult.
Okay,
but
so
yeah, moving on.
moving on to the next artist. Okay, so I chose this artist. It's one of my favorite artists of ever that I've seen for Pony. It's Specky SY. I've mentioned him a couple of times. We played his Hearts and Hooves animation in our, what was it, Hearts and Hooves Day episode, Valentine's Day episode. And everything about this guy I love. A lot of his stuff is a little bit too risque for the show. It's not exactly not safe for work, but it's a bit shippy and all that.
Yeah, it's not like risque or not safe for work or anything. It's just really shippy.
It's just really shippy. I mean, all of his stuff is absolutely adorable.
Like,
I sort of love. I love the fact that his style. I mean, I can notice it anywhere. I can be browsing anywhere and be like, "Hey, that's totally a Specky SY thing," because it's unique to him. It's really, really simple. Really it's big, thick brushes. It's sketchy style. It's just like one or two colors. It's great. Everything about it, I love it.
It's simplicity at its best.
It's very simplistic, yeah.
Yeah.
And it goes to show you don't need to be fully like you don't need to be like Atral or like Husi and have millions and millions and millions of colors and
layers
and layers and all that sort of brushwork and what's the word I'm looking for? Detail. You don't need all those details in something to make it adorable and perfect like this. Like this one I've got here is Smooch by Specky SY. And
so cute.
It's just Pinkie Pie giving Fluttershy a kiss on the forehead. It's adorable.
That's something we talked about in our Hearts on Hooves Day episode. It's like just a very simplistic line style is all you really need, and if that's what works, then I mean that's finalized art right there.
He manages to get it working perfectly. I'm gushing a little bit. I'm being a burn.
Do it.
But
it's your episode.
Yeah, it's true. It's our episode. Thank you for sharing it.
All right.
But you can see he hasn't gone to the extremes that Atral has and have millions of different layers of shading and heaps and heaps of different colors and all that sort of stuff. He's used the yellow and Fluttershy, the pink and Pinkie Pie, and that's it. And then there's a bit of a mixture of Pinkie Pie's color as the background, and that's all it is. A bit of a darker pink for the shading, a bit of a black for shading, and a bit of a white for highlights, and that's it.
Yeah, they're just very subtle hue shifts, like the pink in the background in Pinkie Pie, and like even Fluttershy's hair. They're really subtle. I mean, you can almost not tell Fluttershy's hair from Pinkie Pie's arm, but it's the lines where you can tell that they're different. You know?
Yeah. So he relies on his outlines to differentiate between different parts.
And his shading too. He uses his simple, like just one dark shading brush. But there's nothing wrong. Go ahead.
And he doesn't try and keep within the lines. Like you can tell some of the shading comes out over the lines, and it's everything about it just screams amazing.
Not something he's obsessing about it.
No.
But yeah, I really liked the show this piece because, and I thought it was a great example when you brought it up, because it's again it's a very simplistic style, and there's not anything overly complex about it, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with drawing very simplistic, sketchy, messy art. I mean, if it looks good and people really enjoy it, and I mean this is one of Pinkie Dash's favorite artists, so obviously it's working. There's nothing wrong with that. It can still be like really awesome finalized pieces in a great style. And I mean all the stuff he does is actually really cute, and it is really cute.
It's all adorable. I mean he does a few animations as well, like we've shown before. That other one, which is Caramel Dancing, which you don't really need to show, but it's just, I mean, it's all just adorable. It's all really sketchy, really quick looking art, and it's all done amazingly.
So he puts his importance in the cuteness of like his faces and facial expressions and how he draws the characters and proportions and whatnot.
Simple and effective.
Yeah. Anyway, I think we have one more example by Specky,
we do have another one. So I'll open that one. It's called Present Pinkie? Yeah. Present Pinkie by Specky SY. And again, very simple, not very many colours. All you've got there is the bow, and it's amusing. It makes the whole thing adorable.
It's cute. It is really cute.
She's very. I mean, look, he hasn't even done the cutie mark, and it doesn't matter.
No one cares. That's funny.
Because the focus here is on Pinkie Pie's face and the bow. You don't need to fill in the rest of it because your mind does it for you. Like we keep saying before. Like we keep saying with the backgrounds. You don't need to do it. Just like this. The cutie mark, it's not there. You don't need to worry about it because your mind fills it in for itself.
Yeah. That's funny. In the comments, there's someone who used the piece we featured, used the Pinkie Pie by KP Shadow Squirrel as their avatar.
But yeah, I mean, all of this, there's the shading, it's done amazingly. It's just the darkest shade of pink for both the hair and for her as her body. Just in the places where it needs to be. There's a bit of white there, is a bit of a contrast. But all the focus here is on sort of the top half of her. So everything below that, yeah, it's there, but you don't really need to see it because your mind does it for you.
Yeah.
It's also he doesn't focus too much on making his lines perfect because you can see in places they are
imperfect,
not so much wobbly, but they're imperfect. Like you can see the brushstrokes sticking out. It doesn't matter. You can see the colors going out over the lines. It doesn't matter. It's all great
because it's a very sketchy style. It's a very imperfect style.
Very sketchy. It's a finished painting, but in a sketchy sort of style. And he's Australian, so I love him.
So there's that too. I really like, he has a series of these bow pieces, like the tied up ponies. I really like the Fluttershy one. I think that one's the cutest.
But it's Pinkie Pie, because I chose it.
Yeah, no, it seems. All right, moving right along.
Moving on.
We have to keep moving to all of these. What's our next artist?
Next artist we've got here is Mystic Alpha. I'm sure everybody has seen or heard of something of Mystic Alpha before.
We featured a few of his pieces.
We have featured a few of his pieces. I mean, I haven't seen anyone that says they don't like his stuff. It's all great. And the first one that I've got here by him is Flitter, Cloud Chaser, and Rainbow, because Cloud Chaser is my favorite pony. Because she's awesome.
Her hair is awesome.
Her hair is awesome.
I'm all about hair, so
I think that's why I love her. Okay,
Your
so we've got
so cute. Sorry.
So we've got So we've got Cloud Chaser, Rainbow Dash, and Flitter chilling together on a cloud, and it's adorable because they're all hugging.
They're just chilling.
And
it's innocent.
Leaning on each other, yeah. It is chilling. Okay, so you got anything you want to say about him? Better style?
Yeah, his style again is always it's really simple, but it's not show accurate. And he has like how the ways he likes to do his eyes and like the irises and like how the proportions to his faces and the proportions to his characters, they're very unique to him, how he does that. And especially the thing he's most famous for is how he shades, how he has a very hard-edged shading, and he has two colors for his hard edge shading. He has a darkest and then a not so dark. So he has the darkest part to show the darkest portion of the shading, and then he has a not so dark part, which he usually has these lines, which is what he's really known for. That's what, when people see it, they think, oh, that's Mystic Alpha, how he shades. And he has these like sharp pointed strokes that go through portions of where the shading is. And you can see that in, is it Flitter or Cloud Chaser? It's Cloud Chaser.
Flitter is on our right.
Flitter is on our right. Okay, and Cloud Chaser, the one with the awesome hair, is on our left. You can see that in her belly and hooves, and then again on Flitter's belly and hooves, and then on Rainbow Dash right in between her legs, and on her hooves too. You can see those really distinct lines, and then just like the faces and the noses, they scream Mystic Alpha. That's how he does it. And he always most of the time he has like minimalistic backgrounds, or they're just chilling on a cloud. He likes making ponies on white backgrounds. But again, it's not overly complicated, but there's some complex stuff to it. But it's similar to show accurate. You have like the basic colors, and then the basic strokes. But he changes it up in how he curves and edges the strokes. You'll kind of notice that the strokes that Mystic Alpha does, they're not as organic as say a Trill, or a Trill has really like wavy, organic, bendy lines, where Mystic Alpha kind of has a more geometric way he does his outlines. You can notice on a lot of the pony's hooves how they kind of bend and make sharp angles. You can really see it in Rainbow Dash's hoof, how it's like goes straight and then arcs downwards and makes like this point. So it has a very geometric style too, very mathematical, which I find is really cool because his stuff almost looks like vector work, you know?
Exactly. I was just about to mention that. His stuff is clean, crisp, clear, sharp. It looks almost like a vector, but it's not, because I've seen him painting. Mm-hmm. It is all paint.
He does use a lot of paths, though.
He does, yes. But he uses it as a base more than as a...
Yeah, exactly.
But that's exactly what screams Mystic Alpha for me. Whenever I see something of his, I can tell it's his because of the way he does his lines and the fact that it looks all clean and sharp, and all the shading, which is sharp. There is no blurriness in anything that he does.
Yeah, he doesn't use gradients.
He doesn't. Except he does the background sometimes.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, I mean, like on his characters, like his eyes, he doesn't use gradients either. He uses the black lines. Yeah. And then in shading and shadows, he doesn't use gradients.
Yeah, it's all hard shading. There's no blurred shading. There's no soft shading. Mm-hmm. Look, I picked up some words from you. Hard shading.
Yeah. Hard-edged, soft-edged.
Yeah, that sort of thing.
It's a Photoshop thing. All right, we have another piece by this guy. And this next piece, which we got to actually say the name of, is Main 6 Cluster 16.9.
We have another piece by this one, and it backs up what we were saying just before about, especially if you look over at Pinkie Pie and her main, where it's normally all rounded and puffy and bouncy.
Yeah.
And this one, it's not. It's hard. It's clean. It's crisp. It's pointy. It's everything about it is Mystic Alpha style. It's great. I love it. It's amazing.
I really like this piece.
And you can easily tell a Mystic Alpha piece by the fact that he signs all of them as well.
Oh yeah. Well, besides his distinct signature, which a distinct signature is always nice. Mystic Alpha has a very distinct signature in the bottom to let you know that it is his style.
And non-intrusive, which is even better.
Yeah. It's larger than most, but it's always usually out of the way. It's never on things.
Exactly.
But God, I love this piece. It's a great wallpaper, just like them piled in a big ball sleeving.
A lot of his stuff makes great wallpapers. I've got a few of them.
He does almost all of his work actually in 16:9, so you can use it as a wallpaper, and it's always really large resolution, and it's always really cute. And he does really silly stuff too, kind of more adult silly stuff, which I love. I think it's hilarious.
It is quite funny.
Let's see. Oh, but again, yeah, like you were saying, Pinkie Pie, exactly. And then all those lines and the shading, like all in the eyes and in the hair. And you just see it, and you just know. You just know.
You just know it's one of his, yeah. Even if you don't see the signature, you know it's his.
It's distinct. Like, if you get rid of the signature, it's like, oh, well, this is Mystic Alpha. Like, I don't need the signature. I know.
That's it.
All right, anyway.
And I've just noticed Rainbow Dash's wing is curled up over Rarity. That's cute.
Just like on her head. That's funny. Okay.
Also, I've just noticed the little bits in their ears as well. That's quite unique. I haven't seen that one before.
Oh, like little fuzz, like sharp points.
But the way it's on the fuzz is
I see that like in Rarity's ear, in Rainbow Dash's ear.
All their ears.
We like fuzzy ponies here on CAC.
We do love fuzzy ponies, and Applejack just never had them.
Inahoshi, looking at you. You have a unique style. All right, what's our next artist?
Next artist? Okay. Next artist that we've got here is.
I want to do it.
Okay.
Okay. No, this is an artist I picked because I'm a big fan of this artist's style. Not so much all the content she makes, but still a really big fan of her style, especially her safe pieces like this. I think this is a safe enough piece for our show. And this next piece, which we forgot to say the name of again, which is Pinkie is Bendy by Ipiocho, I believe is how you pronounce that. But we don't discriminate against types of art here at CAC. We appreciate all kinds of art. And I love this piece. I love this style. I love this color, which is kind of contradictory. Normally, I don't go for like the crazy colors and oversaturated ridiculousness, but I really want to call this piece expressionist. I want to call all her work expressionist. It's so expressive. It has super organic wavy lines. There's never anything straight or geometric about anything she does. And it's always ridiculously oversaturated, bright, and happy to the point where
Pinkie Pie, you have to.
Yeah, but any of her pieces, even with Twilight or Rainbow Dash or whatever, Fluttershy even, there's some of her Fluttershy pieces are the most saturated things I've ever seen. And we always say, like, oh, don't use saturation, because it'll hurt your eyes. But it's like, how this artist uses saturation, it's not painful to look at, but it hits you in the face and just bam, and you know that it's this artist.
Well, it just goes to show that everything we say there's exceptions to it.
Exactly. This artist is the most distinct artist that I have ever seen. I don't think there is any parallel that I know of in the brony community that makes art similar to this artist or even on the same level. And I really love this piece. I think it's adorable. I think it's really cute. And just like Anthro Pinkie Pie like bending over. And I love the piercings too. I think those are awesome. And those eyes, dear God,
those eyes. I was just about to mention the eyes.
Yeah.
Like if you look at an eyes and it's bright white, there's bright yellow, and it's all bright and it hurts you to look at, and it's great.
Yeah, this artist, she doesn't always shade with like value. She does use value, but a lot of times she shades with colors. It's all about showing differences in colors, and she'll shade with wild, ridiculous colors. In the Twilight piece that we showed on the screen a little bit in our color episode, you can see all the crazy. I'll put it on the screen. All the crazy highlights in like her hair and in her eyes, and just like the shines in the hair, like just all these colors, ridiculous. There's nothing holding her back on how to show these colors, but they're always used well, and I feel like they're used intelligently, or at least maybe if she's not even putting thought into them, she at least knows what she wants to be ridiculous, if that makes sense, or what she knows how to show detail in wild colors, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I feel like this artist really knows what she's doing when it comes down to that.
If you look at her leg, which is going down to the floor next to her head, which is kind of a weird thing to say if you think about it. You can see on the back of her knee there, you got the yellow there and the blue there as both shading. Like, what is with that? That's great. It's like it's
just little touches like that.
Yeah, you don't see that. And again, under her,
now I'm seeing that everywhere. Like, look at her chest, like the green on her chest.
Exactly.
That green is reflecting on her leg above her. And then like the blue from her sock is like blending into the blue from her leg, even next to her head.
Yep. And then you got
the colors,
the blue, the powder blue in her collarbone, the sternum. You've got
didn't even see that.
You got the blue coming down underneath her arm onto the back, onto her hair, going down behind her, which is possibly her tail.
So many ridiculous, subtle shifts and hues and colors that normally no one would ever think of to use. This artist uses,
and they do it really well.
So you guys should know enough about this artist and ridiculous colors. So anyway, that was another piece that was a piece that I really wanted to bring in. Oh, hey, and look, we're moving to another artist that I wanted to feature on our unique style episode. Hey, it's Blitz Pony. This is a piece. It's hard to say is the name of this piece, but it's a remake of her old Fireflies piece with Luna that I used to gush over so much, and I loved that piece, and I love this piece too. I think it's awesome, but it's different. It has a lot of things different about it. She put a lot more detail into things, especially the background and the foreground. And one of the things we said when we featured the Fireflies piece was how there was a lack of detail in the background and foreground, and it kind of let your imagination fill it in. This is done a little bit more detailed, but there's still a little bit of lack of detail in some things, but it lets you fill that in. And there's also an awesome separation and depth where you have that dark bluntness in the foreground, and then lighter to saturation in the background, and it helps separate that from the really colorful midground. So again, I think it's done really well. All the colors are awesome, and she has those outlines, which I love. And that was the point of highlighting Blitz Pony, was when you see those really bright, ridiculous outlines on things, you know that it's Blitz Pony, and you think Blitz Pony.
Did you just choose this one because Rainbow Plasma's not here to tell you not to?
Yes, that for one. And two, because I've actually been pestering her on Facebook to get her to upload her art to DeviantArt, because she posts it on Facebook and then she never uploads it to DeviantArt. So I've been pestering her. I've been talking back and forth. It's really cool.
Can you get these two up side by side, just by the way, on the screen?
Yeah, sure.
Just so you can tell which one is how she's changed a bit.
How she's changed this piece.
Yeah. So you say before the background has changed. I would know without looking at the older one. So.
Yeah, background, foreground, and then
we're not all that obsessive, Bernd.
I'm sorry, I just know them both by heart now. But she changed a lot on the character too, like how the character proportion.
Exactly. Yeah.
This new Luna is much more masculine, much more broad, and the wings are much more powerful. And then the coloring, there's so much more coloring and blending in like the Fireflies. But an observation is actually there's less crazy outlines, which. I think is a good thing. It feels like she's like evolving her style and learning, and she's making her crazy outlines much more subtle. They're still very vivid in some of the outlines in this piece, in the Fireflies piece, but there's one last piece that I wanted to feature by her, which was, it is called Sibling Rivalry, and it was an awesome piece that she uploaded to her Facebook a long time ago, that she finally uploaded to DeviantArt. But it doesn't use those crazy outlines. They're almost non-existent. They're so subtle that you almost don't notice them. They're still there.
They're still there, but
Luna's wing.
I was thinking more Celestia, where they are there in abundance. There's heaps of them there, but they are very similar to the colors of whatever she's outlining at that point. So, for example, if you look on Celestia's chest, it's a purple outline, but it's right next to the purple in her mane, so you can't see it. And then if you go look on her back, it's a white outline on a white pony, but in a dark part of her. So it's still there, but she's cleverly hidden it.
Which actually brings in a great point, is that there's nothing wrong. Like, this is an episode about style, and if you're an artist struggling for your own style, we feel these artists have awesome styles. That's why we're featuring them, because we're big fans of them. But all these artists have very unique styles, and they've all been evolving their styles, and that's a good thing. You should try to evolve your styles. And there's nothing wrong with looking at other artists to see what parts of their style you enjoy and bringing them into your own. That's what KP Shadow Squirrel did with some of her work, was she looked at a Trill for inspiration. And I look at Blitzpony for inspiration. I love those outlines. And she's been evolving them. She's actually been making them more subtle and making them more similar to the colors around her characters, as you actually noticed in this piece, which I actually didn't notice. I was so used to them being so blunt in my face that I almost didn't notice them in this piece. Because they stick out in Luna's wings, and then they don't stick out on Celestia, but because they're matching those colors around things, which actually is a really good observation. She has those white highlight lines on like the tail and the legs to show like highlights of light, which is really good. And then what Blitzpony does the best that a lot of people almost don't notice is her dramatic poses and dynamic poses and movement in her characters. Like in Luna, how she's like kind of floating backwards and has her wings like mid flap, and then Celestia flowing backwards with like her legs giving direction, and then how that wing wraps around and you can see part of the back of the feathers and the front of the feathers. A lot of artists will never do that, like try to show one side of something and the other, like those feathers, because it's something that's very difficult to tackle, and it takes a skilled artist to tackle it correctly, and Blitzpony just somehow does it awesomely. She's like, whenever I talk to her, she's like, oh no, it's just a doodle, it's just a thought, and where it's so many people struggle to do something so well, and she just does it like it's nothing. There's a word for that. There's a fancy Italian word that I don't remember. The phrase I was looking for there is sprenzatura. The rough definition of sprenzatura is making difficult tasks look effortless. But Raphael, the famous artist, was famous for that big fancy word that I'll have to look up because I forget what it was. But it's making something hard look easy. And she has so much of that. She makes something ridiculously hard look easy, and to the point where she just like doesn't even think about it. It's like, she's, I don't know. Blitzpony is a unique filly, but she's awesome. She's a great artist.
And a previous guest as well. So you can listen to us talk to her if you go look at our previous episodes.
One of my favorite artists that I can't shut up about.
Yeah, we know. Just another thing on that last piece that we showed, the It's Hard to Say and Fireflies redraw. It's hard to say and Fireflies. If you are an artist and you are aspiring to get better, go back and redraw one of your older things. You'll see how much you've progressed as an artist. You'll know that you've gone, oh wow, okay, so that's what I used to be like. How did I ever draw something that horrible? You'll do that if you redraw something that you've made. There's that. I know DeviantArt has memes going around. There's that redraw this of your own thing, and you'll find that you've improved dramatically. Whether or not we've helped is a different story, but
hopefully we've helped.
Hopefully.
Yeah, you can really see that in the Trill's work too. Like just the few months in between some of his work, his quality is ridiculously improved. It's all those 30-minute challenges he's been doing. I swear. He's like, go to his 2012 folder and like the very last folder, like some of his work is just almost like there's no comparison to some of the stuff he's making now in 2013.
Even just awesome. Do that. If you are sort of lacking in something to draw, there are heaps of those things around. There's a 30-minute challenge. There's we haven't plugged it for a while, but the MLP Drawing School on Reddit, they do these challenges all the time, and there's a whole list of them there. So if you run out of ideas and you think, what the heck am I going to draw? Go to these sort of places and they'll say, okay, so this is your challenge for this week, and then you go off and do it. And you get an idea in your head and just go with it. Even if it's not something that you particularly like, just keep going. Do it again.
In participating in different...
Do it again.
All right, we get it.
Do it again.
Participating in different artistic communities is actually a really awesome thing to do, and it can be really beneficial, and a lot of awesome artists do it. A lot of awesome pony artists used to do the Draw Friend thing that was going on, the little draw school that EQD did, whatever it was called.
Yeah.
And that was a community that used to be around. I don't know if it's still around.
I don't know if it still goes anymore. I think it was a temporary thing. There's also, on the drawing school, there's sketch trains where you draw what you get your thing and you draw it, and then you give something to the next person to draw, and then they draw it, and they give something to the next person to draw, and it just keeps going. All that sort of stuff happens everywhere.
Yeah, definitely look out for those artist communities. Keep an eye out for them. They're awesome. Okay, I think we have one last unique style artist that we need.
Which is this the one that I chose? Yes, it is. So I chose this guy because A, he's a fan of the show, and B, I really love his style. It's late customer, and the one that I've got here that I chose first is RD Hard Landing, or Rainbow Dash Hard Landing. Something which just screams to you, late customer, is the fact that he uses sort of like, it looks almost like it's cell shading or cell animation, where it's black outlines. If any of you have played Borderlands, you'll recognize this. I've played an hour of Borderlands, and even I recognize it.
Yeah, that cell shading.
cell shading, so it's black outlines on anything. It's like most cartoons where My Little Pony is the what's the word, exception. Where My Little Pony is the exception because it's got the thick coloured outlines. Most cartoons that you'll see will have these thin black outlines, and Late Customer has taken that and he's run with it, and everything he makes is in that sort of style where it's black outlines. There's highlights in, for example, Rainbow Dash's mane here. It's black, thin black lines everywhere, and he makes it look really, really good. And again, he's the only one that I've seen that does that, so I know it's always him.
Those distinct black outlines, again, like you mentioned, it's really distinct of cartoons, and it's also very distinct of comics and comic strips. And I do believe that Late Customer actually makes a comic strip. I haven't checked it out, but I think I will. And I also love Late Customer's work. I actually gotten a piece commissioned by him that I'm pretty excited for how it's going to turn out.
Have you not got that yet?
Not yet, but hopefully soon. Because I'm really excited. He showed me like an in-progress shot. It looks ridiculous. It looks so cute. It looks adorable. And I really love his style. That's why I wanted to commission him, because I really do like his style too.
And then if you go to the actual DeviantArt page,
I had to throw that out there because I'm really excited for that.
Thank you, Late Customer.
Yeah, right.
So, and if you go look at the DeviantArt page of this picture here, the hard landing Rainbow Dash, if you look in the description, there's a train of links that show you his step-by-step drawing of this one.
Mm-hmm. It was actually really cool and informative. I really liked it. It was really good.
Yeah. So he's put each individual image up in a link so that you can, and then put a description to explain how he does it. And again, we love the work in progress shots.
Yeah, we do. And he also uses his outlines very intelligently, which is very important if you're a comic book artist or a cartoon artist where you kind of stick to this very distinct black outline style. Certain parts of his character, like the outlines, so like Rainbow Dash, her outlines, they're all the same thickness. It's fine to change that like a Trill does and have them all wavy and crazy, but as long as you are aware of how you're using them. And Late Customer is very aware of how he uses his outlines. You'll notice that the thickness on some of Rainbow Dash's outlines, they're all the same and they're probably the thickest, and then things in the background that are receded like the trees or the dust, they're a much thinner black outline. So he's obviously taken that in consideration to show like depth, and the implementation of depth in this piece is actually really well done. Like how in movement too, and like force, like how she's hitting the ground and like things are flying out in the dust, and how he's showing value. Look at that value.
Value. I was just about to say that.
to show depth and like what's in the foreground and how it recedes and gets lighter, which is actually really awesome and well done too. And
so everything about this guy is, I love it. I love it. That's why I chose him.
Yeah.
I mean, he similar to Mystic Alpha, he never uses a soft shading. He's always hard shading.
Mm-hmm.
But different from Mystic Alpha, he doesn't do that two-step thing. Or he does a little bit, but it's not as pronounced as Mystic Alpha. You can see here in this one, Rainbow Dash's cheek. Subtle. Yeah, Rainbow Dash's cheek right down by the dirt. Really dark shading, and then it goes lighter pretty quickly. Same with the hoof.
Yeah, you can see that in like the dirt one too, kind of.
Yeah.
Well, I guess the dirt's all two-step. Oh, no, it's a three-step. It has like a highlight of light in her hair, like the orange in her hair.
But it's normally only one or two different shades for the shading. It's not like you'll see a lot of people like Atril and there's Pussy, those artists that we've mentioned before, the ones that have heaps of detail in their stuff. There's millions of different shades in their shading. Yeah. Whereas with Mystic Alpha, with Late Customer, and the people who do hard shading like this, there's only a very select few.
It's very distinct
of
that artist. Yeah, Late Customer definitely has a very, very distinct style. I'm glad you wanted to feature him. There's actually another piece that we wanted to feature by Late Customer too, I believe. Yeah,
there is. So I'm going to bring it up now. It's in honor of our two fallen comrades, Caramel Curve and Bright Amber Sing. It was a gift for them.
Yeah, we wanted to feature this piece because they're not with us, so we figured we might as well feature them.
Yeah.
And it's by an artist we wanted to feature too.
Yeah, so it worked out well. Yeah, so hi, Late Customer.
Hi.
Pinky Dash says you're cool.
We all think you're cool. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure we all really like his art because Rainbow Plasma won't shut up about it either. No, this piece is really cute. He has a very distinct style for his characters too, just like how he draws characters, proportions, faces, expressions, eyes, mouths. That's very distinct to him too, as well. Like the in progress shot of the commission I got from him is like, oh my god, it's so friggin' adorable. I can't even. Anyway, skipping ahead of that. But no, I really like this piece. It's cute, and he has gradients in the background actually, which is kind of unique from most of his work. He kind of has like those blotchy gradients and stuff.
Yeah,
it makes a very sparkly feel. And again, the character is very bright, very clean, very black outlined.
Well, those blows in the background. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just talking about the OCs and how they're awful.
They're pretty horrible. OCs.
Yeah, people who ever made them should be ashamed, jerks.
This would be a better picture with better OCs on it. like ours, maybe.
We have fun here on the Cutie Art Crusaders. We have fun here.
We do. And they can't tell us off because they're not here.
Flutter guy is so cute. I feel like we're going over our time limit or something.
Not yet, just about. Anyway, I just wanted to bring out the blurriness in the background. He's got the camera flashes, what I think are camera flashes. Blurred in the background, it really makes the characters pop out. I think they're just the
magic in between the two, honestly. Because Flutter Guy's playing piano. And Flutter Guy actually does play piano, fun fact. Flutter Guy actually plays piano very, very well. Besides programming Inkscape and Ponyscape, he is an
How can he do it with
pianist?
Hooves?
Pianist, what?
How can he do it with hooves? It wouldn't work.
Very carefully.
Yeah.
Skill. They're big keys, can't you see?
Must be.
Anyway. And Rainbow Plasma actually does sing. Fun fact. Wow, this piece is so perfect.
And even though I love my boots, this fashion's getting old.
It is. I don't think you knew that, though, but it's perfect. Maybe that's why we're not in it, because we don't do anything.
Oh. People only make memes of me and Value. Damn it. All right, moving on.
Moving on, okay.
Late customer, we love you. Your stuff's awesome.
Yep. And that's hit our time limit. So we should get on with our closing statements.
I want to do plugs.
Okay, you can do it.
We have a DeviantArt gallery, and we have a DeviantArt account, and that's cutieartcrusaders.deviantart.com. Go there to check out all the art we featured in this episode and stuff we couldn't feature. I've got some honorable mentions in that folder as well of awesome artists that we've actually had on the show, like Egophiliac, and some other ones we couldn't, or White Diamonds, and some other ones we couldn't feature, Quest Reveals, so on and so forth. And then we have an email account, which is cutieartcrusaders@gmail.com, and you can send us in questions or anything you have there. Just make sure in the description that you write questions, submission, art, whatever it is, so we can sort that out. We don't lose it, because we tend to lose a lot of junk, unfortunately.
I haven't had questions in a while.
Yeah, we haven't had questions. We don't have even time for questions in this episode, but we'll get to them.
No.
We'll get to them. We'll get to the silly ones, too. There's some silly ones.
Yeah, there's a couple of silly ones left.
But they're directed at the other two, so...
Yeah.
Anyway, and we have a Facebook account. That's facebook.com/Cutie Art Crusaders. You can go there, give us a like. We've gotten a lot of likes recently, which is really cool. We really appreciate that. And then we have a Twitter account that Rainbow Plasma runs, which is Twitter
at Cutie Art Crusade.
At Cutie Art Crusade. That's right. No S in the end.
No S.
And that is our plugs.
That's it.
All right.
So I hope you enjoyed the Burn and Pinky Dash show.
Yeah, the Burn and Pinky Dash show.
I've just received word that it has been cancelled. We'll never hear it again.
Aw. We need some silly music to play us off. Play us off, Johnny. Play us off, Percussion Brony.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's it. Yeah. So thank you guys for sticking around with us for the last hour.
We appreciate it. We love you.
We do.
Yeah.
And go check out the stuff that we mentioned.
So, until another day.
Signing off, I am Pinky Dash.
And I'm Burno1.
And the other two say bye, but they're not exactly here. So, whatever.
This is our show now.
Yeah. We run it.
See you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye. Feels.
All the feels.
No, I got them. It was good. It was a good time. It was really cute. I liked the blind OC concept. It was really cute.
So did I. I mean, it's been something. I mean, I've seen something similar before. I mean, it wasn't like a full-blown animation like Snowdrop was. It was just a couple of images here and there.
Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't really done so well. The animation Snowdrop was actually really, really well done. I've seen a few people blowing around with Mary Sue type ideas.
Yeah.
Talking referring back to Snowdrop. I'm like, well, it's not a Mary Sue because she's blind, and it's exactly how a blind person would react. They hear instead of seeing. It's not Mary Sue, it's reality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That, and it was really cute and well done. I remember you were saying there's a lot of OCs that kind of use that, or I've seen them around too, but not really as well done as like the whole Snowdrop Philly OC. And like when she was like in the snow and it was blowing and she was like hearing it, like that was really adorable.
Yeah.
Kind of like bring in that concept. Anyway, I don't want to like critique it too much. Let's see other animations. Oh, before we actually move on, you made a background of it, didn't you?
I did because I watched it. I'm like, okay, it's not exactly widescreen, but I really, really want a wallpaper, so I kind of vectored a wallpaper from it.
No, I thought that was my favorite scene, so I really liked the wallpaper.
Yeah, so did I, 'cause she was all happy. I'm like, ah.
Yeah, oh. Yeah, I really liked the whole moral of the story. Like, it was kind of trying to wrap my head around it, but it was a good moral. Eventually got it. I like moral spelled out for me. I think that's why I like My Little Pony so much, because it's like, I didn't really understand the moral. Dear Princess Celestia. Oh, okay, I got it. All right.
So you would have hated season 3 then, when she got like 2 letters.
Yeah, right? I had no idea what's going on. Maybe that's why I hated the season so much. This is like, I'm 5 years old. Please spell it out for me. The drawing for a free plushie, like a 15-inch plushie. And I was like, what? And I was friggin' surprised. And that was before we had like the little beanie bag before we decided we were going to do that. And I was like, well, I don't have a plushie of my OC. And that was right around when people started making us like awesome fan art and stuff.
Yeah.
So I was kind of like, I kind of want an OC to help me like record with the show, whatever, because I really like the show and I kind of associate my OC with the show. And then it finally just came in the mail, so now I have a little plushy version of me, and it's got like the hair, it's got the little beard, and the little goatee, and little pony ears.
Oh,
and
that's so cute. So that's like a real standing up plushie, not like the beanie bag ones.
Yeah, so it's about the same height as my little Rainbow Dash plushie. I feel so like gifted. I have all these plushies everywhere. And
I have a single plushie, and it's of my OC.
We'll get you more plushies though.
Yeah. Although, what was it? Build-A-Bear Workshop are going to start selling Pinkie Pie and Rainbow Dash ones.
Yeah. Get you a Pinkie Pie plushie.
I got told by one of my friends yesterday that I'm going to be getting one for my birthday. So I'm looking forward to that.
It feels weird that I'm hugging me. But I'm so soft. Alright, I'll put me down over there. But no. Yeah, Build-A-Bear's doing Pinkie Pie and Rainbow Dash plushies, and then what is it? What's Studio 30X?
That's right. Yeah, I can't remember what they're called.
Well, they're doing Studios 30X or something, are now doing Twilight plushies. What is that? They released a little preview image of them a while ago, and I thought, oh wow, those are pretty awesome. And then they're like $24. Like, yeah.
What?
Fourth
Amazing.
Dimension. That's right. Fourth Dimension entertainment plushies are now available for pre-order. So go snag some. This is why I'm watching a kid show. Gosh.
Fair enough.
Anyway,
it's all the hair. It's eating into your brain.
It is. It's like part of. I don't even know. It just manifests. It just does whatever. It's taking all my intelligence, and then manifesting stuff. Okay, it's getting weird. We're getting off track. Second animation coming out in 6 days to keep your eye out for is Double Rain Boom. That's also coming out.
Wait, is it 6 days from now or 6 days from when the episode gets released?
6 days from now. I think that's what the countdown website on the website.
Okay, so
6 or 7 days. Well,
it'll be
from when this episode's airing. I got you.
So it'll be 3 days from it'll be 3 days from when this episode is.
Yeah,
3 or 4 days.
3 to 4, yeah.
Okay.
And I don't know what exact...
for all that don't know, we're recording on American Saturday.
Yeah. And I don't know what exact date that is, so too bad. Friday, Saturday, something.
At 3, so it'll be the 29th.
And then our last bit of news that's really exciting for me. This happened December, so like 3.5 months ago, almost 4 months now. It's something that was really exciting happened for me, but I didn't really get to gush about it too much. I kind of made like a journal post about it. But I won, her name now is the Nightcraft, Night-Craft. Her name was Aishino, something like that. But she had a plushie contest where basically people who watched her, she entered into a big drawing and pulled names out of a hat and then made the plushie for them for free. And I had no idea I was a part of the drawing. I watched her because I really like plushie artists. And then I got this note in December, right around Christmas, where she was just like, I think it was in the beginning of December, and she was like, you won the main editor for the show. This is now the second week in a row that I'm going to be editing again. Grandpa's and I started doing this like swap back and forth thing, and like he's like the editor, and then now I'm doing I don't know. It's like we swap back and forth, but it's like now I feel like I'm doing all the editing. I'm the editor for the show. It's my show. And Pinkie Dash's show. It's the us show.
It's the better Pinkie Dash show.
We're taking over. I can feel the power. Going crazy with the power.
That's
no,
right.
it's what is it? What's the date today? Or the date this is airing is going to be March 26th, 2013.
Pretty sure I said that already, but whatever.
Did you? No.
Yeah.
Well,
Thought I did.
this is why it's the Us Show, because we have no idea what we're doing.
We're just bumbling our way through it. Whatever.
Yep.
We'll just have fun with it.
Okay. So let's see. Before we start, okay, news, fancy stuff. Yeah, like you said, Rainbow Plasma and Flutter Guy are gone, and they've been having a lot of fun, and hopefully we're gonna have like an awesome little episode of their adventures and travels of them together. That Rainbow Plasma will edit, and I won't be editing. And we've got some really awesome pictures of like when they dyed Rainbow Plasma's hair blue, and some good stuff that you'll be seeing hopefully in. Will it be the next episode? Or the episode after?
I think it might be the next episode.
Maybe next week. Hopefully it's the next episode. No guarantee.
It's gonna be one of the next couple episodes, so we can have a break 1 week. He can do everything. I don't have to do anything that week.
And I'm going to be contacting some special guests too, so look forward to that. Because we've had a couple episodes now, we haven't had a special guest. Well, we had Spirit, that was really awesome, but that wasn't like a guest. She just helped us.
She was a guest host.
Guest
presenter.
host. All right. Anyway, in other news this week, the fan animation Snowdrop came out, and that was really cool.
That was amazing.
It was really adorable, wasn't it?
It was.
Got to get those feels, man. Those feels.
Hello and welcome to Cutie Art Crusaders, episode 39, which is the Burn and Pinky Dash show.
Hey!
Hey! Second guess why? It's because we do not have Flutter Guy or Rainbow Plasma with us because they are both off having fun in Boston. Is it Boston?
I think so.
I think it's Boston. Otherwise, they're at PAX East, wherever that is.
place.
I don't know. I'm not American, so I don't know American geography at all. Well, anyway, so we've decided to sort of just take over this and do it ourselves, and so you're probably going to be hearing quite a bit of Burned this week.
Normally you'd be hearing a lot of me, but this week I'm gonna try to shove Pinky Dash into the spotlight. I'm gonna make you talk. I'm gonna force you to talk. So,
Okay.
And I've made sure to hopefully pick out a whole bunch of pieces that you'll enjoy talking about, and made you pick out a whole bunch of stuff. So hopefully we can get you to actually participate in an episode, not just sit there quietly and sketch your vector or
Well,
something.
anyway, we're going to introduce ourselves anyway, because even though there's only two of us, whatever. I'm Pinky Dash. I normally do the questions. This week I'm doing the intro and probably talking a little bit more than usual. And with me I have
Burned-01, the special guest coordinator, and also pretty much now